What's up guys, Harry here, and today I've got a video for you on should you double park for passenger pickups and drop-offs. So whenever I tell people that I run a YouTube channel and I have a blog for Uber and Lyft drivers that helps them maximize their profits, be better drivers, I always get questions like, how hard could it be to drive for Uber, right? That's what people always ask me. And I think that honestly, being an Uber driver or a Lyft driver isn't rocket science, but it's a little more difficult than it looks, right? I mean, it's easy to drive down the middle of the street on the freeway talking to a passenger. Anyone can do that. But pickups and drop-offs are one of the times where it gets a little difficult, right? You often have to navigate a few different things. Where the passenger wants to be dropped off, where it's legal to drop off, traffic, policemen, buses, bikers, pedestrians, right, etc. Right? List goes on, and it can honestly almost be a pretty good video game now that I think about it. But if you're going to drop off in a residential neighborhood, that's pretty easy, right? But what about at 2 a.m. when the bar's let out and you see a bunch of cops on their little motorcycles just waiting to give you a ticket right here in downtown LA, like which always happens to me. So we've all been in that situation before. So I mean, what's the best way to handle it? I mean, the easiest way is to just double park and let your passenger out wherever is most convenient for them. But that also puts you at the most risk, right? In a lot of big cities right now, LA, San Francisco, Chicago, New York, all over the place, the cops are really cracking down because they're starting to realize that Uber and Lyft could be causing a lot of this increased traffic and increased congestion that cities are seeing. And a lot of that could be from double parking, from letting these passengers off in bad places and holding up traffic, right? One car stuck in the middle of the street could have a pretty big impact, and then you multiply that by the tens of thousands of cars that are driving, and it definitely makes a difference. So for the most part, here's what I would recommend, right? You really want to be proactive, right? Proactively assess the situation. 90% of Uber drivers are actually going to wait until they arrive at the final destination to realize they have a problem, right? But if you're still a mile or two away, whether you're picking up, whether you're dropping off, let's say you're a mile or two away, you're at a stoplight, look at the destination on the map. See where the drop-off point is, right? One of the things I like about Google Maps is that they actually shade business streets. So if you're on a street with a bunch of businesses or bars, it's actually shaded a little bit on the map. So you can see that, right? It's a little darker on the map. You have to look closely, but that way you can know if you're dropping off on a busy street or not. Prepare yourself, right? And then you need to know, what you have to do, right? The other thing is really important, you want to focus on is communicate with your passengers, right? If you have a passenger in the back seat, they probably know where they're going, right? They've probably been to this place before. So if you drive by their destination and don't say anything, they're probably going to be thinking to themselves, what the hell? And that has happened to me a bunch of times as an Uber passenger. So let passengers know what you're doing. Tell them, hey, I'm going to go ahead and pull up just past the restaurant so I can let you off in a legal zone. And if you do it proactively like that, what are these passengers going to say? No, I don't want you to do that. Drop me off where it's illegal. Some might, but for the most part, you probably won't get that from a passenger, as opposed to you driving by and they're going to ask, hey, can you drop me off right there in front? And then you have to be the one to say no, right? Now you're the bad guy as opposed to you telling them what's going to happen. So really, my best advice is to be firm but gentle, right? If you give a rider an inch, they're going to take a mile, right? The passenger does not care about you getting a ticket. They're not going to pay for any ticket that you get. So it's important. Be firm but kind, right? Use phrases like, would you mind if I dropped you off just past the corner? Explain why you need to do those things. So, I mean, I think for drop-offs and pickups, for pickups, a lot of these same tactics are going to apply. But I mean, just really don't be afraid to communicate and call your passenger in that situation. Stay in communication with them. Use landmarks to identify where you are, what you're driving, etc. So hopefully all of these tips are going to lead you to reduce stress during pickups and drop-offs, because I know for me and for many other drivers, that's definitely one of the most challenging parts of picking and dropping off passengers, driving for Uber. Definitely one of the most challenging parts. Like I said, it's not rocket science, but it does take a little practice. You do need to think about these things, be proactive, communicate, and I think you guys will do just fine. Help your ratings, make more money. We'll all be happy. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please let me know. Give us a little thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. We release new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Leave a comment below. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. So until next time, take care.